Taz Rowell here from NJPTA Advocacy and Legislative Committee. In this edition of Advocacy Moment, we will talk about family engagement, as that is one of our priorities. Most of us, because of COVID-19 and quarantine and school closure and e-learning, are having to do a lot more family engagement with our kids than we probably ever had to do before. And most of us are still working and supporting our families, and so that brings up a number of challenges. The good news is National PTA has compiled a great set of resources to help us with this. So if you go to pta.org and go under the COVID-19 resources section, there's tons of resources for social and emotional support. How to talk to kids about COVID-19 and anxiety and uncertainty. I'm sure your kids are asking, when school is opening, or want to have a play date with their friends. So some helpful resources there. Learning at home. This whole e-learning model is new for most of us. There's some guides there for parents, as well as links to free events and activities to help us feel less guilty about perhaps some of the screen time we're offering our kids. And internet access is another issue that has bubbled up in this whole e-learning model, and there's some resources there as well. Healthy habits. So with being limited to mostly staying home, that brings up another challenge about staying active and healthy. So there's some resources there as well. And even using our kids' PE assignments as family time, whenever we can, could be a good option. And perhaps even limiting the news to once a day to one resource. Perhaps it's local government authorities' daily briefings, or something that we can take away and just use and just keep it that way to just stay sane and positive. And National PTA also has a podcast. It's called Notes from the Backpack, and there's discussions about COVID-19 and any other topics that touch parents and educators and students. So definitely check it out. So for all of these resources I mentioned, go to pta.org. That's pretty easy to remember, pta.org, and there's a resource section for COVID-19 resources. Now, what all of that is great to have, it's hard to focus on that if our basic needs are not being met, right? And there's obviously a lot of concerns and real challenges on a daily basis for a lot of families. And I would then refer you to covid19.nj.gov, where there are tons of resources. So that's covid19.nj.gov. And if you go under the Get Assistance section, I'm looking at right now, there are links and resources for unemployment, health insurance if you've lost your insurance during this time, cash assistance, food assistance, family leave benefits, sick leave, job protection around taking leave because of COVID, eviction relief, mortgage relief, homelessness, childcare resources for essential workers, domestic violence hotline. So a lot of great resources that are timely and needed for this time. So the two resources I shared with you are pta.org and look at the COVID-19 resources for all things social and emotional, learning at home, healthy habits. You can also find the link for the podcast there, and covid19.nj.gov. Wishing you all very good health and resilience. We'll see you next time.